Welcome to ThisDay for this Friday, September 4th. I'm Paul Ortiz. Thanks for joining us for the next half hour. We have a great program for you today. We're going to have our Chief Executive Officer, Jeff Parker, join us, and he's going to be telling us about the latest COVID numbers. And for some of you who have seen the OC Health Info website, they've made some changes too, so we'll take a look at that and have a discussion regarding that as well. Lisa's going to bring us life hacks, and today she's going to bring us cleaning tips. And you know, for a lot of us who are stuck at home, it's a good time to clean some of those things that you usually don't and kind of throw away some stuff too. I actually have been to the dump a couple of times, so that's what happens, I guess, when we get stuck at home and have you know, plenty of time on our hands on some occasions. Well, let's tell you as well about some of the meetings that are going to be going on today. If you're watching our morning program live this morning, the third board will have their agenda prep meeting. That's at 9:30 a.m. And then again this afternoon, we'll have the Software IS Research Group, and that's going to be at noon this afternoon. So if you're watching our morning program, you can catch both of those and be a part of those you know, endeavors. And then obviously we want to tell you about our reminder for COVID-19. This is the usual information we share with you. And what you want to do too, especially to see the new governor reopening plans and some of the businesses that are slowly opening up. We'll see how we do over the Labor Day weekend. You can go to covid19.ca.gov, and then they also have that hotline there, 714-834-2000. And then, of course, you can always go to our websites. The marketing department does a wonderful job of keeping our information up to date. And you can go to LagunaWoodsVillageAlerts.com. And if you have any questions regarding COVID and some of the things and facilities that are happening or going on and reservations that can be made with some of our activities, you can always email us at info@LagunaWoodsVillage.com. Let's take a look outside. It's going to be a hot day today. It's going to be, well, cooler than tomorrow and the next day, but it's still going to be hot today. 87 degrees today. Overnight temperature was not too bad, but as you can see, tomorrow's going to be a very hot day. Mark actually thinks he could have put 100 in there, but I don't think we can get the 3 digits in there. But it's going to be hot tomorrow. 99 degrees tomorrow, probably into the hundreds. If you're going inland, it's definitely going to be in the hundreds. And then Sunday as well is going to be a pretty warm day. The Labor Day weekend is going to be a hot one. Labor Day is going to be in the high 80s, possibly touching 90s in some places. And then, of course, Tuesday, as we come back to work for some of us, is going to be nice, beautiful 82 degrees. So probably going to be a lot of people out there this weekend. It's going to be some warm temperatures, but you know, definitely get out there and get your walk in and do those things earlier in the morning and enjoy the day before it gets too warm. Let's take a look at that sunrise and sunset. That sunrise this morning was at 6:27 a.m. and our sunset this evening is going to be at 7:12 p.m. And look at that wonderful picture. That's a sunset that was taken at sunset by Christina Somerset. We thank you for bringing that picture to us. A beautiful picture of the egret. If you see them, they're usually around the Aliso Creek area. Beautiful. Usually they kind of are solo most of the time, but every once in a while you'll see 2 of them together, and you'll see them around our community quite often. Beautiful picture there. Thank you, Christina, for bringing that in. If you have a picture you want to share with us, go to LagunaWoodsVillageTV@gmail.com and send us that email of a high-res photo. And it doesn't have to be just in Laguna Woods. If you have something you have that you want to share with us of a travel you may have had some years ago or even recently, send us an email at LagunaWoodsVillageTV@gmail.com. We'll be back with more of our program, and we'll be talking to Jeff Parker about some of the latest COVID numbers right after this.
For the sweaty faces and the hidden smiles, the foggy glasses and the sore ears, the determined looks and the muffled laughs. A simple piece of fabric makes a big statement. I care. Let's all do our part to slow the spread. Wear a mask. Learn more at covid19.ca.gov.
Hi, I'm Vince Ferragamo. I spent some of my best years as an NFL quarterback, but today I've got a new team, and we're helping seniors who spent their best years fighting for our country, defending our freedom, and informing the nation. Our hometown heroes need help. AgeWell Senior Services is their lifeline. Nonprofit AgeWell can do all of this because you care enough to give. Please join me in supporting AgeWell. Donate today.
Hearing aids require a lot of attention. Don't underestimate the problems earwax can cause. Come in and see inside your own ear canals to find out how much blockage you have. Debris like earwax can cause up to 45% reduction in amplification. Your hearing aids may be able to be significantly improved to help you hear conversations clearly with a simple office visit. Every day, patients say, "Oh my gosh, that sounds so much better." Stop in or call us today for a complimentary cleaning and ear inspection. Tell them Stuart sent you.
To help stop the coronavirus, the CDC recommends to avoid contact with people who are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze with a tissue, then throw the tissue in the trash. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects and surfaces. Stay home when you are sick, except to get medical care. Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. For more information, contact the CDC. A message from Village Management Services.
Well, joining us on the program right now is Jeff Parker. He's your Chief Executive Officer, and today we're going to give you some COVID numbers regarding how we did for the week. The city of Laguna Woods actually is still doing pretty well, but unfortunately, we're seeing that death rate kind of go up a little bit in Orange County.
Thanks, Paul. And good morning to everybody. Yeah, the great news for us is that, again, the residents here have done such a good job that we're still at in fact, if you look at the cases reported, because of some adjustments, we went actually down from 50 to 49 cases. So that's kind of unique in the recording. And I think it had to do with just how Orange County was reporting all of the cases. Right. The good news is that our deaths have stayed the same over the week. And yet in Orange County itself, we've seen a pretty big jump in the numbers. Went from 980 last week to over 1,000.
Over 1,000 right now.
And 11 yesterday and recorded as well. Yeah. So that's sad and unfortunate that we're seeing that. As we talk about it, there's a new website, in a sense, an upgraded, and they following now the state's allocation of going to a color-coded tier concept. And if you go to the details on the right, what you'll find is for a county to move one step at a time, they have to be in these tiers and have to be approved for a couple weeks with a status quo and not seeing any increase. Then they can move to the next level. They can't jump like 3 levels just because they're doing really good, so they're going to have to sequentially go through it. We're still at the county's still been designated in Tier 1. However, the numbers are still pretty good at the 5.6 and the 5% positivity rate. If we continue to hold steady with that, I think the next step will be going into that Tier 2. Right. But they have to stay in Tier 1 for a couple weeks before they can go into Tier 2. Right. So that's good news. They also are starting to, they announced that they're starting to allow some in-class educational stuff starting. A lot of them look like they were starting around the 3rd week of September. Right. And so that's good news, and I think that's reflective of these numbers going down. That 5% positivity percentage has always been kind of the goal. We've got to get to that, maintain it, and that gives you the flexibility to start opening up things. Right.
So we're really on the verge of purple and red here, and like you said, even when we get to that red threshold, there's usually like a 21-day holding period to make sure that you can, maintain those levels. Right. And then hopefully, you're still talking October, mid-October, maybe even November before we get into a Tier 3 situation.
Probably,
especially with, we have Labor Day weekend, and then we have flu season. Flu season's going to come whether COVID's here or not.
Right. And that's the one thing that you keep hearing about in the state and Orange County, and everybody's recommending, especially for people that have preconditions, or people in the age group that most of us are here at the village, and that is get your flu shot, and don't wait to get them, because they're saying that the potential onslaught of the flu is going to be earlier. Right. So their recommendation is, if you can go get your flu shot, go get your flu shot. You can always get a booster later, right. But the most important thing is not to wait too long and get hit with the flu, which just makes it more difficult to fight off the COVID-19 if you happen to get impacted by that too. Yeah. And
just, probably a month and a half ago was kind of a little bit of an uproar regarding, this policy wearing masks in our community. And I think now that we reflect back, we realize that was really probably one of the other better moves that we've made in our community, because it's kept our numbers so low. And now people, whether you're at the Liso Creek walking, or at the concert or gatherings there that they're doing hopefully with social distancing, and we're checking that out. But obviously the mask has really helped in our community. And I think people are just adapted to it. It's just like anything else you do nowadays. You're going to wear that mask when you're out in public like that.
I think you're right. I think the great participation by our residents to social distance and wearing the mask, and we, keeping the group smaller than 15, right. So that it's great that some people can get together or go over to the park and hang out together. That we're not wanting you to not do that. Right. That's what we want you to do. Get outside and enjoy, but just do it in a limited capacity. Keep it under 15. Same thing with our classes that we're going to start. We're going to start next week looking at adding additional outside classes that we're going to have, so people can do Tai Chi or a yoga class outside. And we're working with the recreation department right now to get the scheduling and everything for that, and I'll talk about that on next time I see you. Great. But the key to that too is still, 14 people in the class with the instructor. Keep it to 15 so that we can make sure that social distancing is occurring and we're not impacting that spread.
That's a great idea. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be looking forward to that, just to get together and do it properly, but yet get some exercise and get outside. And then the new reservation app basically is working out pretty well.
Yeah, we had one little glitch the other day, but it's for the people that are giving input to us on how it can effectively get your reservation, how it allows you to get a reservation further in advance. Before it was like a one-day call up on the email. Now you can get 72 hours in advance, so it allows you to go in there and get your court that people want, over a period of time. And what that's done is it's spread out all the reservations and calls. Now what we did, and one of the reasons we had a glitch, I think, is we opened up the pools, and we're going to use the same reservation system for the pools, and we got hit with, I think, a lot of calls and reservations, so we had a little glitch. It was only out for just a couple hours, and then we're back up. So it is, from what we understand and how people are using it, is more effective and useful in getting your reservation and getting your time slotted for your use for either tennis court, pickleball, and now the pools.
And just like any app we've seen for the last 10 years, once they launch it, and then everybody hits it at once. I mean, Ticketmaster, how many times have concert apps gone down just because everybody wants to get the latest tickets for a concert they want to see? But those are some of the things that happen with technology, and then obviously we learn from that and then make it a better app. So
absolutely.
Great news. This is also the end of budget season. GRF wrapped up their budget. You want to mention some of that?
Sure. So we're literally right in the middle of the budget process. So we have, GRF was last Tuesday, and now we run into United coming up on Tuesday, and then the following week will be Third adopting their resolutions, approving their budgets. With that, GRF was first to go. And what I wanted to mention for everybody watching, because GRF is over the facilities, as we know, and so their assessment this year is at $205. And I wanted to mention the key to that and $205.60 is that's the same assessment as in 2020. So this is the 2021 year we're talking about, starting in January.
Right.
As we know, we're way in advance in our budgeting process because we have to get that information out in November and December to all our residents. The nice thing, obviously, for our residents to know that their assessments aren't going up.
Right.
That's not necessarily normal, but they did it for two specific reasons. One, when we originally were showing GRF what we thought the normal increase was going to be, it was in that $8 to $10 range. And what we suggested to them was, because there was going to be literally some savings this year in 2020 because we had shut down some facilities and we had gone into a different operation mode, that there was projected revenue savings at the end of the year. And as their bylaws suggest, and as we go through the process, the way in which they can take that money and offset those things is to put that money back in their contingency or reserve budgets. Right. And so what we were able to do was not increase those, in fact, reduce those. So our contribution to the contingency fund went down $5.
Okay.
And the contribution to the reserve fund allowed it to stay identical instead of going up $5 or $6. So the end result of having a zero net increase for our residents is like receiving that rebate that some of them had wondered about or questioned about.
Yeah.
So real positive for GRF being able to do that. United's proposed budget is also a zero increase with regards to the base assessment. Doesn't directly involve the insurance issue. With regards to the GRF budget, we noted that there was going to be a big increase in insurance, and we've been talking to everybody about that. Yeah. And this, again, using this surplus addresses that
for next year.
That potential for next year as far as any kind of insurance for GRF. So a really tight budget, but accomplished what I think GRF really wanted to do, which was assure the residents that they were using any surplus appropriately by keeping and maintaining a zero assessment increase.
Right, and just like you said, by utilizing that appropriately, because as we've seen in the Globe for the last 3 or 4 weeks, there's always been a letter to the editor stating, you know, give us our discount on our assessment this year. Well, legally, you can't even do that.
Right.
So what you're doing is just budgeting that for next year,
right,
so that they actually have a savings or a zero balance on that account.
Exactly.
And we also want to congratulate Joan Milliman. She was elected to the Golden Rain Foundation Board, and she was one of 6 candidates for that one seat. And then they'll start that process again here in the next month or so.
Yeah, pretty soon. And both United and Third have their process. Third is by acclamation, looks like. That would be based on theirs. And United will have 7 candidates for 4 positions, I believe it is.
And when you say acclamation, that's also a new bill that was approved, I believe, in Sacramento too, that you went up and supported too, because we were spending all this money for ballots and notices and things like that, and yet there were 4 seats, 4 candidates. And yet we are still sending out all this information, which is, you know, very expensive at times.
Right. The elections cost somewhere between $25,000 and $30,000 per mutual if they have an election. And if we can do an election by acclamation, it saves that a big part of that cost.
Right.
The notification is still important, that we notify people and put notices out there that it is going to be by acclamation, so people understand that. Yeah. But yes, that's the reason we sponsored that bill last year and got it passed, and this is the first election that will come under those regulations.
And we actually got that notice yesterday from Cheryl Silva. She works in your office, and you'll see those notices on the message board, and it'll show you who the candidates are and how this process is working. So that's, you know, another way to get that information. So, you have anything else you want to share with us before we let you go for this Labor Day weekend?
Everybody look forward to a great Labor Day. Stay safe out there. Wear your mask, and it's going to be warm. We all know that, and you indicated that. So stay safe, stay inside, or get out to the beach. It's probably the best place to go. Early, early or late, as they say.
Right,
Don't go when all the crowds are.
Right.
But enjoy the weekend, and we'll talk to you. And maybe on Wednesday, we'll do a Wednesday instead of a. Since Monday we're not going to be here.
That's right. We look forward to that. Matter of fact, we won't have a show on Monday as well. That's our Labor Day, and we will be off on this, a national holiday, thanks to Grover Cleveland, our president back in like 1800s, who knows when. But yeah, we will have a holiday here for Labor Day on Monday. But thank you so much for joining us this week, and enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you next week sometime.
Sounds great. Thanks, Paul.
That's Jeff Parker. He's our Chief Executive Officer, and each week he gives us an update on not only the COVID numbers, but many of the things happening in your community. We're going to be back with Lisa and some lease hacks right after this.
By staying home, the community of Orange County has made a difference. But doing so shouldn't mean putting your own health at risk. Hogue wants you to know that safe, quality care is available. Don't ignore or delay the medical attention you need. From routine checkups to revolutionary treatments, Hogue is here for you, just as we have been for almost 70 years. Like no other time before, your healthcare choices matter. Get the care you need from the name you trust.
In a time of need, it's more important than ever to have caring professionals around you that exemplify kindness, compassion, and empathy. Alethea Home Care is a non-medical, family-owned company aiming to improve and maintain the quality of life for our clients and their families. We work hard to ensure your loved ones are safe and comfortable in a warm and familiar environment. Located right here in Laguna Woods, our services include companionship, light housekeeping, respite care, hospice support, transportation, and so much more. Spoil your loved ones with quality care and call today.
Okay, so we've got some cleaning hacks for you. Now, if you don't know what a cleaning hack is, it is a workaround so you don't have to spend too much time cleaning, and that's what I'm all about. All right, the first one we have is ceiling fans. So you can dust your ceiling fan with an old pillowcase to help trap the grime instead of just brushing it back into the air and onto your floor. So that's a good one. Now, your microwave, I don't know about you, but I never seem to put anything over the top of the things that I'm cooking, so it does tend to get junk all over. So if you have that same habit, you can microwave a bowl of lemons and water to make all that gunk come out in one easy swipe. So again, it's a hack and it's a workaround, so it works great. For your shower doors, you can get rid of the cloudy scum buildup on glass shower doors, no elbow grease required, with a few dollops of cooktop cleaner. So that's awfully interesting. So, you know, you want to make sure that it does say that it's for, you know, the cooktops, and then you just spray that on there and wipe it right off. Kitchen appliances. You can mix cream of tartar and water into a thick paste to clean the sticky dust buildup that nothing else seems to touch. So that's interesting. I don't really use cream of tartar very much, but anyway, now we can use it for cleaning. Stubborn grease. You can immediately erase the greasy dust by dabbing a little mineral oil on a cleaning cloth, and then it's going to make your stovetop look that much better. Baseboards. Wiping your baseboards with dryer sheets help them repel dust and pet hair. And you know, how often do you actually even go around and do the baseboards? I really don't. So anyway, if you don't, now this will help them last a lot longer and be cleaner. Getting rid of pet hair on your couches or chairs or bedding or clothes even for that matter is you can take the little area, the squeegee, and you can spritz the area with water and scrape it up with the squeegee. And I think that would work really well on your couches. So give that one a try and let me know how that goes. Now, cleaning your shower head, instead of taking it completely off the wall, you can take a rubber band and a plastic bag filled with vinegar, and you wrap it around your shower head and tie the little thing around it, little rubber band around it, and that way it will deep clean the ends of your shower head and get all that grime off. Usually it's lime. Now, you can also try Lime Away too, but this might be a better way to go if you can't really get to the store. So there's some cleaning hacks for you. Please let us know if they work for you, and you can always send us an email to lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com.
Hi, I'm April, owner of Glitterbug Gold Buyers, your gold buying specialist. We educate, guide, and protect you when selling your gold. How do you know if you're getting the highest payout? At Glitterbug, we provide education so you know you're getting the best deal. We make sure that our customers have an excellent experience, and that's why Glitterbug has a perfect 5-star reputation online. Give us a call to find out about our mobile service, or just stop by our office. No appointment necessary. We look forward to meeting you.
This crisis has changed almost everything, but not our resolve. We've pulled together, worked hard to keep each other safe. We've flattened the curve and are starting to reopen our communities. We can protect the people we love and help Californians get back on their feet. For our families and our communities, let's stay the course and stop the spread.
As we mentioned, with these warm temperatures, Village Television definitely wants to provide entertainment for you. And then over the Labor Day weekend, we're going to bring you 7 movies this next couple of days. And the first one is going to be this evening. That's Forrest Gump. That's going to be at 2 o'clock with subtitles. And of course, that stars Tom Hanks. He is the the presidencies of Kennedy and Johnson, the events of Vietnam, Watergate, and other historical events unfold through the perspective of an Alabama man with an IQ of 75 whose only desire is to be reunited with his childhood sweetheart. And of course, that is Tom Hanks. That's going to be this afternoon at 2 o'clock with subtitles and 7 o'clock this evening without. We also are going to be bringing you our usual Saturday movies now during this pandemic. That's going to be at 3 o'clock with subtitles. A wonderful old movie called Roman Holiday. It was produced in 1953. A bored and sheltered princess, played by Audrey Hepburn, escapes her guardians and falls in love with an American newsman, GREGORY PECK, in Rome. And that's going to be on Saturday at 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock as well. And then we're bringing you another special presentation on Sunday. That's going to be at 7:30 p.m., The Prisoner of 2nd Avenue. And this stars Jack Lemmon as he, suddenly unemployed executive, suffers a nervous breakdown when Anne Bancroft is also starring in that. Jack Lemmon plays a lunatic in this movie. I think you'll enjoy it. That's going to be on Sunday at 7:30. And then, of course, for Labor Day on Monday, we'll have our Monday matinee, which is at 2 o'clock with subtitles. And this is an interesting, I kind of want to say sci-fi. It's kind of different. It's a Gemini Man, and that was produced in 2019. It stars Will Smith, and he plays an over-the-hill hitman who faces off against his younger self. Pretty interesting. So we hope you enjoy these movies. We have a number of movies, a variety of movies, and it's going to be located on our website, and you can see all the movies that we'll have for September. Let's take a look outside real quick before we let you go. It's going to be hot, 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 and especially Saturday and Sunday. And the worst thing, I think, is those high temperatures overnight. You know, you can kind of shelter yourself during the day, but when it gets pretty warm at night, it's very uncomfortable. But warm temperatures, probably lots of people out this weekend, so enjoy Laguna Woods, enjoy the many activities that you can still participate here in our community, and of course, stay safe, wear that mask, and continue social distancing. Well, that'll do it for our program today. We thank you for joining us for the last half hour. I'm Paul Ortiz, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
At Harvard Eye, we're so happy to be open again to see you for all of your medical and surgical eye care.
We're taking great care to protect everyone from COVID-19 by seeing fewer patients, spacing out chairs in the lobby, sanitizing our office constantly, and doing much more. The world is changing a lot, but what hasn't changed is we're honored by your trust and confidence and committed to keeping you safe. We can't wait to see you again.